Brown bears, the essence of wild Alaska. Top of the food chain, and with power to match, they face few enemies. Except one, hunger, their constant companion. Finding enough food is a race against time in the short Alaskan summer. A matter of life or death. Of course, life is not all about eating. But what do bears really need to survive? It takes much more than brawn. It takes a brain to thrive in the wild. And there's no place like Alaska's Katmai Coast to find out how bears meet the hunger challenge. This is a wild and unforgiving landscape. Rough weather, endless coastline, high mountains. Up here, brown bears spend the winter in their dens. Most emerge in May. Now they have to face their greatest challenge: hunger. It's hard to believe a mighty animal like a grizzly should struggle to find enough to eat. But when the bears emerge after half a year's hibernation, nourishing food is hard to come by in the mountains. Most have to make do with a meager diet of spring herbs and roots. It's barely enough to get by. Starvation is never far away. For herbivores like the caribou, roaming the land on ancient migration trails, spring is a time of plenty. When bushes and trees start to sprout, life couldn't be better. Not so for brown bears. Especially not for mothers with young cubs. Picking at herbs and roots is all very well, but what they're really looking for is meat. Moose calves are a favorite. Most are born at the end of May, just when the bears are at their hungriest. The bears only have a few days to take advantage of the defenseless calves. Just 1 week later, the baby moose are fast enough to outrun them. Still, their success rate is impressive. In some places, almost half the newborn moose fall prey to bears. For a mother and her cub, the kill is a crucial energy boost, but it doesn't last long. Hunger is quick to return. The rugged Katmai Coast has more on offer than the sparse mountain slopes. In protected bays, extensive sedge meadows flourish. They attract bears in large numbers. Brown bears are carnivores by design, but here they almost resemble grazing bison. What's so good about this grass-like sedge? Bears need an enormous amount of food to sustain their massive bodies. Up to 20,000 calories a day for an adult 300-kilogram bear. Fresh sage sprouts contain around 25% raw protein, a real boost, but the bears have to graze almost non-stop to keep hunger at bay. Their predator jaws and teeth are not really built for grazing. And in contrast to true plant eaters, they can't digest cellulose easy. Most of it passes straight through them, leaving countless dung piles, which in turn are good fertilizers for the meadow. Brown bears can't really thrive on sedges alone. But their abundance in lean times is a lifesaver. After the long winter sleep, this is the place to go. But it comes at a price. With so many other bears around, brown bear mothers are in a constant state of alert. And with good reason. Hungry bears are a threat, and this can be a seriously dangerous place. Despite the risk, coming down to the coast for a life-sustaining protein boost makes sense. Even though a visit can be marked by anxiety. This mother has 3 yearling cubs in tow. They're quite a handful, and on these crowded meadows, danger is never far away. Brown bears are loners and highly opportunistic when it comes to food. Occasionally, they even go for cubs. And an old bear in poor shape will seize any chance to better his odds. It's best to stay well clear of him. This face spells trouble. The mother pops her jaws, signaling danger. The family moves on as one compact unit. Her aim is to keep a safe distance between him and her kids. But keeping 3 cubs under constant surveillance is anything but easy. A fact not lost on the old brute. He follows, watching, biding his time. The next morning reveals a tragedy. The old brute has killed one of the cubs. Ironically, the Grizzly meal might not only help him survive, it could be a blessing in disguise even for the mother. One less mouth to feed may improve her remaining cubs' chances of survival. Cub mortality is notoriously high. In some years, fewer than half of all bear cubs make it through. The mountains have a distinct advantage over the crowded sedge meadows: solitude and shelter. Mothers with newborns often decide to stick around for longer. For them, security outweighs all else. These cubs are not yet fast and strong enough to cope with the busy life on the coast. Up here in the mountains, the family can relax and search for food without the constant threat of other bears nearby. Like all bear mothers, she's a single mom, looking after her kids for the next 2 or 3 years, alone. she'll teach them all they need to know about being a bear. In early spring, she can still draw on some fat reserves from the previous year. But she has to top them up soon if she is to see her family through the summer. As an experienced mother, she knows where to find the best of the sparse mountain vegetation. Spring greens and nourishing roots are life-saving transitional foods. But knowing where to find them takes skill and experience. Roots are nutritious, but not all make good eating. Her cubs have a lot to learn before they're fit enough to make it on their own. But with an experienced mother to teach them, they have the best chances. Eventually, she too will have to leave the mountain's safety. A much better selection of feeding grounds is on offer in the lowlands and at the coast. Apart from the Sedge Meadows, beaches and mudflats also offer rich food sources. To reach them, bears cover long distances, wandering along the rugged shoreline in search of other good eating places. Walking and swimming to cross rivers and bays. Eagles sometimes follow them, trying to profit from a bear's catch. The Katmai Coast is a bear paradise, as long as you know how to make the most of it. At low tide, a hidden food source can be found on the mudflats. Young bears, out on their own for the first time, now have to put their mother's lessons to good use. And that includes digging for clams. Small water jets indicate where the clams are hiding. Knowing where to search takes practice and skill to extract the prize from the shells. They're only small, but the clams are far more nutritious than any spring greens. It's delicate work for such mighty paws, but this young bear masters it perfectly. Digging around in the mud has definitely been worth it for the young bear. Now, as the tide returns, it's time to head back to solid ground. Summer is short on the Katmai Coast, but it makes up for it with extra long days. In July, when the fireweed glows, plants and animals thrive. Now, it's not just food that's on the bears' minds. Adult males give everything to make their presence known. Their weird gait is called a cowboy walk, designed to intimidate and impress. The air is thick with tension. Serious fights are on the agenda. Their aim? Winning the chance to father the next generation. The Sedge Meadows now double up as a courting ground where you can find food and a mate. Dominant bears don't usually have to fight for mating rights. But that doesn't mean it's easy. A male bear may have to follow a female for days and court her. It's lady's choice. She decides to accept or reject a male's advances. Bear mating can be a fairly rough affair, even if this one seems to be a tender encounter. By now, the spring cub's mother is also on her way from the mountains to indulge in the coast's riches. Her cubs have grown strong enough to make the journey. It's still stressful for her down here. Too many bears. Too much tension. All her senses tell her this is not a safe place for her family. Perhaps she can find a safer spot somewhere else along the coast. It's unusual to see so many bears in one place, where they all have to mingle and get along, in spite of their loner instincts. Having to meet, greet, and socialize doesn't come naturally to them. Bear etiquette is a complex affair and depends on individual situations and personalities. Facing up to each other can be a provocation, while turning your back is a friendly or confident gesture. To cope with the complicated interactions in this neighborhood, bear noses are crucial. They are far better than those of dogs. It's incredible what bears can sniff out. They can smell where the next meal is coming from, where there is a potential mate, and where there is a possible threat. They constantly maneuver around the meadows for the best place to catch the wind. All sorts of scents waft across the meadows, laced with information. Particularly during the mating season, males leave smelly messages to make their presence known, especially to females. They rub their scent on trees and bushes to impress and warn off rivals. For a bear, the world is shaped by odor. Their noses are super sensitive and help them navigate the area to avoid aggressive encounters. But on the whole, there's plenty of space on the sedge meadows to keep your distance and graze peacefully. After the tension on the courting grounds, a good scratch can help a bear relax. Young bears often seek company before they start their loner life as adults. Young males in particular like to take center stage to show off and play fight. Mothers with cubs are nervous around others. They prefer to stick close to the safety of the forest. This yearling mother and other families stay well clear of the busy center stage. These youngsters could be brothers who shared a winter den just a couple of years ago. Their rough play is not without risk. Teeth and claws can always draw blood in the heat of the moment. It's essential training for adult life when sparring contests turn into serious fights for dominance. After all the fun and exercise, the young bears soon return to their main summer task, feeding. But the commotion has been too much for the yearling mother. She leads her cubs away to a quieter place. The bears are still desperate for more than grasses and a few clams. And eventually, a little late in the summer, the coast offers its star attraction. Many rivers will soon be full of fish. And the bears are constantly on the move to lay claim to the best fishing spots. Countless generations of bears have traveled these trails. The yearling mother has known these paths since she was a cub herself. Now, she's passing the knowledge on to her own kids. Her destination is a river mouth she's visited for years. Salmon is the key to bear survival here. Every summer, millions of fish arrive from the Pacific. Their aim? To swim upstream and breed, back where they came from years ago. Seals follow the schools, hoping for a quick snack. But catching an agile fish isn't nearly as easy as it looks. Female salmon are now loaded with eggs, and the males stay close for the chance to fertilize them. They're in a hurry to get to their spawning grounds. A perilous journey. The yearling mother has already taught her cubs how to behave on the sedge meadows and how to find clams. But teaching them when and how to catch salmon is one of the most important lessons of becoming a bear. This is her classroom. As soon as she spots her prey, the mother gives chase. Her cubs quickly follow suit. Young bears have to learn fast. This might be the last year their mother will teach them. Begging from mother remains a favorite game. It's what all young kids do, and it pays off. By now there's so much fish to choose from that the bears only bother with the best bits. Yearling mother's favorite is the fatty skin. It's packed with much-needed calories for a nursing mother. But her cubs are keen to explore. Catching the fish seems to be even more fun than eating them. Plenty of opportunists make short work of the scraps. Gulls are quick to clean up. But there's a hierarchy, even among freeloaders. The bald eagle rules the roost. His powerful beak delicately extracts the fish eggs and other tasty bits, like the liver. His only rivals? Other eagles, or his own young. Meanwhile, a small bear has appeared at the rapids. He's just starting life as an adult and puts his survival skills to good use. The best fishing spot appears to be right next to the other bears. But yearling mother doesn't tolerate this scallywag anywhere near her cubs. The youngster seems unimpressed. She needs to show him who's boss. Like a teenager testing the limits, he's in no hurry to get out of the way. Yearling mother clearly doesn't trust him. Maybe she's had a run-in with him before. Eventually, he gives up. With the tide receding, the salmon supply has dried up for now anyway. Yearling mother may have gorged on 15,000 calories in a single sitting. But even a bear's stomach has its limits. Time for a rest in the safety of a daybed, hidden away in the backcountry. For a bear, there's nothing better than a good snooze after a rich meal. In Alaska's vast summer wilderness, the best food sources aren't always obvious. Knowing when and where to find them is key to making it through the year. On the vast tidal flats, the bear's secret weapons, their sensitive noses, can help them track down welcome treasures. A bear can sniff out a rotting carcass many miles away and will head straight for it. This female is first to arrive at a feast. She's found a dead seal. For a bear, this is a delicious meal loaded with fat. Just what she needs to stock up in the summer. But holding on to the prize is a different matter. A big male has also followed the enticing odor of dead flesh. He's aware of the competition. Positioning himself upwind, he sniffs out who's already at the horde. In the face of a much stronger bear, the female doesn't even try to defend her find. It's just not worth the risk. Size matters in bear society. Now he's bumped the female off the buffet table, it's his turn to gorge himself on the fatty carcass. She can only watch and wait until he's eaten his fill. Which might be a while, considering the effort it takes to tear apart a dead seal. The Katmai Coast has one of the largest tidal ranges in the world. At low tide, extensive areas fall dry. Tidal inlets channel the outgoing water. Some bears prowl the water. But there isn't much to find. The salmon he's looking for are mostly waiting way out in the deep. Still, the channels carry enough water for some fish to hide in. Maybe it's worth a try. He knows they're here. But salmon are hard to catch, especially when there's enough water to make a getaway. For most bears, low tide is a time to rest or find food inland. The next high tide brings another wave of salmon into the river. And the yearling mother leads her cubs to the next lesson in her watery classroom. But this time, it isn't just about how to catch fish. They're not alone. During the salmon run, rivers are like popular food courts for the bear neighborhood. Everyone who lives within walking distance joins the party. Each bear learned from its mother when and where the salmon are on the move. The yearling mother sniffs out the situation. Is it safe enough with those two gatekeepers taking up position at the river mouth? With her favorite spot occupied and two little ones in tow, she hesitates. She knows the two females, but they could be just as dangerous to her cubs as a big male. The gatekeepers settle down to wait. The fish are still out at sea. The yearling mother decides to make her move. She looks nervous, but calls her cubs to the river. She must keep feeding. No running around this time. And no nursing either. When other bears are nearby, mothers face a constant conflict between food and safety. She desperately needs the fatty salmon's calories if she is to get her cubs through the tough winter ahead. This is her best chance of stockpiling enough reserves. But tension laces the air. Even her playful cubs are edgy and stay close together. More bears arrive. The yearling mother keeps calm. This female seems to pose no threat, as long as she keeps to her own spot. Finally, the fish arrive. everybody gives chase. Tempers flare, and in the heat of the moment, disputes are inevitable. Any good fishing spot is now in contention. As loners, bears are not prepared to share. For the yearling mother, this place has become too dangerous. With her cubs in tow, she can't afford to get involved in aggressive clashes. The bears are all hungry and prepared to fight for their share of the feast. With the posturing over, everyone can turn their attention back to the cause of the furor, the salmon. Now, all that counts are the fish, and everyone has their own technique. Bear eating habits are highly individual. This female likes to use her paw as a dinner plate. She'll likely catch more than 20 salmon today and devour their best parts. She may gain up to 2 kilos of weight in a single day. One of the gatekeepers prefers to skin her fish first. The other goes for the head, skillfully extracting the nutritious brain. There are so many fish, they can afford to be choosy. With everyone's attention on the salmon, the yearling mother has led her cubs back to her favorite fishing spot at the river mouth, but she risks running foul of the gatekeepers down here. This time, the family guzzles the whole fish. With those 2 gatekeepers nearby, it's not the right time to be picky. Best for the cubs to run away with the scraps, while Mother puts the gatekeepers in their place. For bears, this is just another day at the salmon run. In summer, the rich pickings supplied by the sea transform the Katmai Coast into a bear paradise. As long as there are salmon, there will be bears. When the tide moves out again and the inlets fall dry, the river mouth is like a closed shop. Having made their way upriver, there are no more salmon left in the rapids. Bears unable to catch their fill or too shy to face the crowds downriver try their luck here. But even though there are plenty of fish, the hunt can be frustratingly tough. By the time the salmon reach their spawning grounds, they have changed dramatically. This mother has no problem pulling a meal out of the river. Thousands of female salmon have come to spawn here. It's their final act. None of the adult fish will survive. The bear family has this spot of the river all to themselves, feeding at leisure. There's even plenty of time to play. A wonderful time at the end of summer. In early September, autumn begins to transform the Katmai Coast. By now, the bears have stocked their larders. They're incredibly fat. This female will have no trouble surviving 6 or 8 months in a winter den. Both spring cubs have survived their first year and will now follow their mother into the mountains to seek out their winter quarters. Yearling mother's cubs are now almost as big as her. It's unusual, but it looks like she's prepared to spend yet another winter with them. Many bears have already left the coast for the high mountains. Here, autumn has produced a splendid display of colors. The nights are chilly, and fog freezes on the ground. Soon, the sun will no longer be strong enough to melt the icy dew. By now, most brown bears have conquered the hunger challenge they were facing in spring. But before they disappear for their long winter sleep, they can gorge on one last, abundant food source. Berries are ripening en masse on Alaska's mountain slopes. Blueberries, soapberries, elderberries, gooseberries, cranberries. There are around 50 different types to choose from. The bears eat almost non-stop, gobbling hundreds of thousands of berries. This feeding frenzy might add another 2 kilos of weight a day. A welcome boost for their fat reserves before winter sets in. Only when this resource too dries up will they retire to their dens and the long hibernation ahead. In anticipation of a new spring.